starting off the double digits is Jar Jar Binks, and also starting off with a brand new ability called High Jump. Now, high jump would be higher, because considering the fact that it's used in almost every single level of the prequels, except if only it wasn't dimmed down to just the regular Jedi flip in the original trilogy. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just recode it so where Jar Jar could, jump up normally. Well, I guess since the original trilogy's game is literally just copy and paste in this game, except with a few minor, upgrades and the quality and all that. But, yeah. So, it kind of makes sense, but no new puzzles that could be required for high jump. But, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but the reason why Jar Jar is the last of the jumpy boys is because he can't fight at all. Yeah, he can only jump. So, that brings him down a ton, aka 4 spots. Now we're on to the original last place of the high jump boys, which is the Grievous bodyguard. And the reason why he is above Jar Jar Binks is because, like stated before, Jar Jar can only just jump. However, Grievous's bodyguard can also fight with his little big stick thing. Another little detail that I like is that in the level, at the end of the level, whenever you actually fight these guys, whenever they're down to their last hit, their heads come off, which also happens with Grievous's bodyguard in this game, which I find really, really a really good detail. They probably did just code the original Grievous's bodyguard and just made the original and just added character physics to it, so nothing really special about that, but still, it's still neat how they included that. Next up is Captain Tarples, he's the exact same as the Grievous's bodyguard, where he can high jump and he can attack, but I, for some reason, like the Gungans, and I just think that they're interesting creatures. I don't know what's about them, I kind of find them funny, especially Jar Jar, because, he is a comic relief character, and I feel like he's one of those characters who's actually done well. I know not a lot of people will agree with me on that, but as the meme states, Jar Jar is the Dark Lord of the Sith, and I'm talking about Jar Jar whenever I should be talking about Captain Tarples. But yeah, he did get more of an important role in the Skywalker saga, with him literally being one of the main characters in the second to last level of the Phantom Menace. So yeah, he did get a little respect on his name in that game. Now moving on to the best high jump character and an arc, I guess you could say, about where the next, every character for the rest of this part is going to be a droid. Starting off with the best droid out of the list, General Grievous. I think it's obvious why General Grievous is the best droid here, because, he's General Grievous. He's one of the main memes of the Star Wars community because of his just lightsaber addiction. So, and also, he's just wielding 4 lightsabers at once. Which is, at the time, I think he was the only character to do that. I don't know. Haven't read the comics, so I don't know. But yeah, he's just a pretty cool character, honestly. Just memes aside. And gotta say, he was killed off way too early. Well, thank God they brought him back for the Clone Wars, though. Now on to the worst droid on this list, TC-14. Well, TC-14 does have a good quality because of the fact that they can just bypass all enemy attacks, but he also does have one ability, which is a new one, which is the Protocol Droid panel, which is, it's fairly common throughout the game, but not as common as another droid panel, which we'll get to in a couple parts. And also, a fun thing with the Protocol droids in this game is that if you hit them at all, they'll just lose their body parts, which I find funny. And every time I'm with TC-14 or C-3PO, I just cut all their limbs off until they just have their one signature leg. So, Yeah, it's a shame that we got to TC-14 first before, the main man. But yeah, we're about to get to that main man now. Now we have the better protocol droid, which I did kind of spoil with the TC-14 segment. But I mean, it was kind of obvious if you've played this game or if you haven't played this game, but at least have half a brain cell of Star Wars knowledge. So, but yeah, he's pretty much the same as TC-14. He's super slow. He has the protocol droid panels, and whenever he gets hit, his arms and limbs come off. So yeah. TC-14, but golden and better. So I'm gonna talk about him a little more because he is a Chad, because he is one of the rare Star Wars characters who is in every single Star Wars movie. That's right. Whether if it's a small role or an actual important role, he's in every single one. So, yeah, that's your little C-3PO fun fact for you. Now let's move on to the better droid type, the astromechs with R4P17. And now, I'm gonna be honest, R4P17 is literally just a reskin of the R2-D2 in this game. Thank God they changed it in the Skywalker saga, but yeah, anyway, about his abilities. He technically has 3 abilities. The most obvious one that I just showed on the screen was the astromech panels, kind of like C-3PO's panels. Then it's the hover ability. Then, just like Watto, the Ugnaught, and the Jawa, he has the stun ability, which does actually work in the original trilogy as well, which makes the stormtroopers scratch their butts. Yeah, I'm confused about it too. But yeah, unlike the astromech that is coming up next, she actually did play a more important role than the next astromech. Next, being in 2 movies instead of just being in like no movies. I'm spoiling the next one so much. But yeah, R4P17 was in the Attack of the Clones and in a short moment in Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, in 2 movies, not bad. Do you know who R2Q5 is? If you said yes, then you most likely know him from this game, because this is R2Q5. He is just a black and orange R2-D2 variant, and yeah, he has the exact same abilities as all the other astromechs with the hover, astromech panel, and stun, except his is kind of different. His exhaust thing is red, which is cool, and his electricity is also red. And he also has a unique death sound, which is separate from the other 2 astromechs in this game. Take a listen. But yeah, he's only really up here because of his design, and R4 is below him because he's just a recolor R2-D2, because there's not really anything special about R2Q5, but yeah, moving on. Now we have the best astromech and the original R2-D2, and just like C-3PO, he was in every single Star Wars movie, and actually, here's a little fun fact. In the prequel trilogy, R2 was more important than 3PO, but in the sequel trilogy, 3PO was more important than R2-D2. However, in the original trilogy, they were like the exact same in importance, so yeah. It's a little fun fact, but yeah, R2 has the same 3 abilities: hover, astromech panels, and stun, and yeah, he's definitely the second best droid out of the 6 droids that we have covered so far. And this part has been a lot of story characters. It has been consisting of Jar Jar Binks, R2-D2, C-3PO, TC-14, and R4P17. That is a lot of story characters. And I think we've only had like 2 so far, so I think Jar Jar is like the 3rd, and I think this is like the 9th, I think. I don't know, I just guessed, honestly.